Guys, check it out. I'm gonna tell you here why, check it out, why the inflammation that you are having is the step number one for you to lose weight the right way. Because I see many people trying 1,000 things and they just focus on losing weight. I'm gonna try to lose weight. But they don't focus on creating the foundation, create the right environment inside their bodies for them to have the capacity to lose weight the right way and sustain their weight, to keep their weight off even while they are getting older. Because everything changes when you are getting older, right? Your body is different compared to 20 years ago, right? Now you are 40, right? And then 20 years ago when you used to be 20, you used to eat anything and nothing was happening with you and you didn't care. But now your body's changing. And that's the reason why, because you're not creating the foundation. Tiago, what's the foundation? What's the step number one for me to lose my belly fat, to lose weight the right way, and to sustain? Even if I'm getting older, even if I'm in lockdown, even if anything happens in my day, I still can keep my weight off. Foundation is what? Reduce that inflammation in your body. And while strengthening your gut microbiome as much as possible. And then I'm gonna show you what's the influence in that inflammation that you have in your body that you don't know. Many people don't know. I'm gonna tell you, and then you need to write this down, okay? So guys, let me know here. Sent also. Brazilian, Italia, awesome. You sent, that's amazing, guys. So another thing, where are you from, guys? I'm curious because I have clients, I have people, followers in the US, I have people from Canada, I have people following me in Australia. So let me know where you're from. I want to see where are you guys from. There are many people here. 60, 70 people already. Guys, if you stay here with me, I'm gonna, inside your brain, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm telling you. Okay? LA, Los Angeles, Canada, Toronto, Australia, amazing. California, awesome. Australia, Lula, Jack, Lily, London as well. Guys, that's amazing. Wow. So check it out. Guys, you will need to take notes now. Time to learn, okay? I'm gonna tell you, Brasilia, awesome. Many countries. So guys, check it out. Remember what I told you. You need to first create the foundation. Every time that you are trying to lose weight, what's happening? I'm gonna tell you what's happening with your body so far. So far, imagine that your body is like a house that you are trying to build. And then every single time that you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build that house. And then what's happening? I'm gonna build the wall of the house here. And then the angle of the wall of the house is not straight. Okay, but that's okay. And then you keep going. So same thing, the strategy of weight loss that you're doing, that you used to do. And then you're building the structure. Instead of build my house in something that's really hard to fall down, that will not fall down, I'm gonna put in front of the beach over the sand. That I don't care. So you are building your house, all the structure, all the foundation you are building. It's not perfect. You're building the house the wrong way, but you're building, right? The house is becoming a house, and same thing happens with your weight loss. But what's the problem when that happens? When you build the foundation the wrong way, what happens? Next time that hurricane or lockdown or any situation happens, right? Or like a strong wind, the house will, boom, fall down. Same thing happens with your body when you try to lose weight. You are building the wrong structure, the wrong foundation. Anything happens, you have an argument with someone else. Someone in your family is really sick, and then you are concerned, and then your mental health is not the same. Any trigger, you start gaining your weight back again, right? Because you didn't create the right foundation. Today I'm gonna tell you the first step number one for you to create the foundation is reduce that inflammation, and check it out now. Step number one for you to reduce that inflammation in your body, for you to lose your belly fat is what? I'm gonna tell you. First thing, the problem, step number one, is because you are not spiking your glucose and your insulin the right way. You are always spiking your glucose and your insulin throughout the day wrong. Tiago, what do you mean by that? So do you mean what? Like, are you telling me that depending on how I'm eating my food, the order of my food, the way that I'm eating my food, I can spike my glucose and my insulin hormone much more. And because of that, are you telling me that I can accumulate belly fat easier? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. Check it out. When you try to do those programs that just focus on, for example, calories, let's just eat less, caloric deficits, I know that for anything that you want to achieve, you always need to stay in a caloric deficit. Everybody knows that, right? But guys, this is just a piece of the puzzle. This is just one part of the problem, right? And let's suppose you are doing that already. You are eating less already. You are in a caloric deficit, but nothing is happening. You're not achieving your goals. You're still frustrated with your results. The belly is not shrinking the way that you want. What's happening? Check it out. Take notes. This is going to be super important for you. Never forget this. Every time that let's say you are working in the office, and then you say, okay, I'm going to eat this cracker. Because this cracker here, is low calorie, I'm gonna just have some snacks, right? And because you're just eating a pure cracker without putting, for example, a butter, covering with butter, or another situation, you are eating something and in the morning, and then you are putting like yogurt, and then you put a lot of honey. But I just calculated here, this is what happens when you try those programs, right? Like any strategy out there. I'm gonna put like honey, I'm gonna just stay in a caloric deficit. I'm just putting less calories, but I'm gonna put honey. Big problem. Step number one, what's gonna happen? If you do this, what I told you, that's the way for you to spike your glucose much more. Your glucose will spike. By consequence, your insulin hormone will spike. And the way that you start accumulating fat is when your insulin hormone is high, right? And Thiago, okay, so are you telling me that, for example, I need to be careful? For example, in the morning when I wake up, I need to be careful which kind of food I'm eating. So it's not about only the calories. It's not about eating healthy. I thought that if I just ate, for example, mango or banana straight away, it's healthy, right? So it would be fine. Guys, that's the point. That's what nobody told you. Even a healthy food can spike your glucose and your insulin much more. And step number one for you to create that insulin resistance in your body, and then after that your body is your insulin is already regulated, and then that's step number one for you accumulate fat, especially in your belly. That's why? Because it's visceral fat. It's because the order of the food and the combination of the food. I'm going to give an example. Solution number one. Take notes. 8 people already. Guys, bring more people. Share this with more people because many people need to hear this. This is super important. You have no idea. You can help many people, many of your friends if they are watching this live here. So help them. That's important for you, okay? Check it out. Instead of eating, you wake up, right? When you wake up, your body is super sensitive. Your glucose, your insulin, they are super sensitive. Your body is sensitive. If you are eating, for example, let's say you put yogurt, you put honey, honey, and that's it. Or you just decide, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to eat a banana. That's the point. If your body is not prepared, if your insulin is not great, if your glucose is not great, if you have high levels of inflammation, that's not the best idea. Instead of having, for example, banana, solution number one, you can eat that banana with, for example, seeds. Right? Or with nuts. For example, you eat 1 banana and then 2 Brazil nuts. Why? Because as you are adding fat, a source of fat, or even you can eat a banana and then you can eat like eggs and avocado, for example. Because you're including fat and protein at the same time, you are flattening the curve of that spike of your glucose and your insulin. And that's the step number one for you to create what? Insulin sensitive. Because those people who are insulin sensitive, instead of insulin resistant, they are more likely to lose weight and keep their weight off. But those people, those women who never knows how to flatten the curve of their glucose and their insulin because they don't know how to eat, all the strategies how to eat, they tend to accumulate fat. Where, Thiago? Where? Here. The area that you don't want to accumulate, right? Because why? Because it's visceral fat. So check it out. Another solution. Take notes, guys. Another situation. Let's say you want to eat pasta. If you want to eat pasta, just pasta, pure pasta, and then I want to eat pasta. So instead of doing this, you're going to spike your glucose and your insulin a lot. Solution? eat a vegetable first. First, eat the vegetable. You're going to prepare your body in advance. And then after that, you have your pasta. And then you're going to flatten that curve of glucose and insulin. And then you are teaching your body. Guys, it's all about command. You are always giving the right command to your body. Body, spike my insulin and glucose less because now I'm eating this instead of that first. Now I'm eating some nuts first and then I'm having my carbs after that instead of doing the opposite, right? When you do that strategy, you are flattening the curve. Another situation, guys, this is many people make this mistake. Check it out. When you are, let's say you had an argument with your husband or you had an argument with anybody in your family or your boss in your work or like a friend, right? And then you start thinking, oh, I'm super stressed out. Why did she say that to me? Why? She doesn't know me. Why? And then you keep thinking, right? And then you are thinking, let's say that situation happened 2 weeks ago. That argument happened 2 weeks ago. Write this down. And then today you are still thinking, you are overthinking, you are thinking the situation again. What's happening? Your body doesn't know what's reality and what's not reality. Your body is just an animal. Tiago, what do you mean by that? It means that even if the situation happened 2 weeks ago, and right now you are thinking about that situation, why did she say that to me? What's happening? You are thinking, your body is believing that's happening at that moment. What's happening? Your cortisol spikes, start spiking. Cortisol spikes. Remember, check it out. Like, follow me. Keep checking. Follow me. You are still thinking, and then you decide, why? And then you go to the table. It's lunchtime. And then you are thinking about the argument 2 weeks ago that happened. You sit down, you put the food in your plate, and then you why? She's a bitch. She's terrible. Oh, you talk to, oh my God, everything's for me. Everything I need to do is all about me. Why? I'm receiving a lot of pressure. And then you keep eating. And then check the worst of the worst situation that you can do to your body is when you are spiking, like increasing your cortisol, adrenal glands activated, your cortisol is increasing. And at the same time, you are spiking your insulin. Why? Because you are eating, right? Your glucose, remember guys, when you are stressed out, your glucose tends to spike more. Now, there are papers showing that when you are more stressed out, just by the fact that you are more stressed out, your glucose is more sensitive to spike higher. What does it mean? It means that your insulin will spike more as well. And what does it mean? It means that that moment that you are in the table thinking about your problem that happened 2 weeks ago, it doesn't make sense because it happened already, but you are thinking, you're overthinking, and then your cortisol is going up, and then your insulin is going up at the same time. Do you know what you are saying to your body? This is exactly what you are saying to your body. Body, well, I want you to make sure, body, that you're going to accumulate fat here in my belly. Body, make sure that you don't accumulate a fat in any other part, but I want you to focus on accumulating fat in my belly. That's the command that you are giving to your body when this is happening. Why, Tiago? Because you have receptors, I said that already. You have receptors in your visceral fat here, check it out. Glucocorticoids, receptors in your visceral fat that they are sensitive to more cortisol. So when you are always more stressed out, the cortisol is increasing, and at the same time the insulin is increasing, glucose and insulin is increasing, everything at the same time. The visceral fat say, or those receptors in your belly fat say, oh, hey, come here. I want to come and accumulate fat here in my belly. Guys, that's what you're literally saying. Why? Because it's all about command. You give the command, body, do this, boom. Depending on what you're doing, how you are eating, what you're thinking, what's happening with the bacteria in your gut, you're giving the command, you're giving the direction of what your body needs to do with the food that you're eating, right? If your body has to reduce the inflammation or increase the inflammation, it's all about command. This is the command that you're giving to your body when this is happening. Another situation, for example, let's say today you had a bad sleep. Guys, share this to your friends, share this, go to this icon here, share to your friends because this is important. You can save someone's life, you can help someone become healthier because of you had the job to click here and share to 3 people at least. So this is super important. You're going to help out many people. So check it out. Let's say today you slept bad. You didn't sleep well, okay? And then you need to be aware. Take notes. The next day, if you had once in one single day a bad sleep, nowadays we know that your glucose will be more sensitive to spike higher. Any food that you're gonna eat, the next day, when you had a bad sleep, your insulin or your glucose will spike more, tend to spike more. Why? Because one single bad sleep, your body is completely deregulated. Many hormones are deregulated. One of them will be the insulin hormone as well, right? And as another thing that will be deregulated, it will be the glucose, right? The glucose spike, because your body is not functioning properly. One day, guys, one day. It's just one day. That's why I have people, guys, Thiago, I did for 1 year, I did everything perfect. Everything, I ate healthy and I did everything right, but I did sleep well and then the next day I got sick. But why? Because even your immune system, you drop all the natural killer cells, it drops those natural killer cells in your immune system. Those immune cells, they can drop by like almost 70% if you sleep, for example, for 4 hours. Papers are showing, right? So I just want you guys to understand that you need to be aware, you need to play with your body. So, I slept bad yesterday. It means that today I know that my glucose will spike much easier, and because of that, I'm gonna be careful of how I'm eating my food. So instead of eating, for example, today is Saturday night, but I slept bad. But I'm gonna eat, I want to have ice cream with my friends. I want to have ice cream tonight with my friends. So I need that, I need ice cream. Okay. And then let's say you have no chance to have that ice cream on Saturday night. What's the thing that you need to do for you to avoid that huge spike? Because your body is already sensitive to spike even more. And then you tend to accumulate fat easier. What you should do? Before you go out on Saturday night and have that ice cream, make sure, guys, that you can have, like, for example, step number 1, apple cider vinegar. There are many papers already showing that when you have apple cider vinegar before a meal, you are flattening the curve of your glucose. So instead of the curve goes up because you had your ice cream, just because you had apple cider vinegar before, 15 minutes before, for example, you are flattening that curve. So this is one of the ways for you to flatten the curve when you have something that, like, for example, you don't have any choice at all, right? So that's one thing. Another situation, let's say you go to a meeting and everybody, okay, Mary, let's eat this, like it's pizza. Let's say it's pizza. Before you eat that pizza, to avoid that huge spike in your glucose, first straight away, because that's what you need to avoid to accumulate fat easier and gain weight, you can order a salad first. Eat a salad, leafy greens, you can put like some seeds. That will flatten the curve of the glucose and your insulin much, much more. There is a simple solution just by the fact that you are changing the order and you are knowing what to do before you are flattening the curve. What does it mean? Thiago, what does it mean? What do you mean by that? Guys, it means that you're doing this every single day. You are aware of what's happening with your glucose and your insulin. Every single time you are flattening that curve, what does it mean? It means that you are gonna tend to lose weight easier. You will tend to keep your weight off much easier because now your glucose is regulated. That glucose spike is regulated. Your insulin is not spiking like crazy every single time. And then that's step number 1 for you to reduce the inflammation. Why? Because nowadays we know if you have insulin resistance, you have a lot of inflammation. And when you have more inflammation, you are just producing more a molecule called cytokines. They are pro-inflammatory molecules that when you have more visceral fat and when you have more inflammation in your body, they are growing, and you don't want for this to happen because the more those pro-inflammatory cytokines, molecules, the more you're going to struggle to lose weight. Okay, that's another reason why when you try programs that, for example, just folks, okay, just reduce your carbs, eat that intake of protein, eat that fat, and that's it. And then you don't care about the order. You don't know why you need to flatten the curve of your glucose and your insulin. What's happening? Let's say you are going to you're working and then you are eating a cracker. Guys, solution. Instead of eating a pure cracker, this will spike your glucose much more compared to you putting, for example, almond butter. You put almond butter in your cracker, this will flatten the curve. Something so simple. Thiago, but it's not more, it's more caloric, right? Because I'm adding more butter. Butter is caloric. Yes, guys, but you just compensate. You increase the calories here, right? Because you're adding butter, almond butter, for example. But you just reduce the calories in your next meal, right? But at least you are doing one thing that's crucial for your belly fat to reduce. Is what? Reduce the curve of your glucose and your insulin. This is crucial. Got it? Guys, share this to more people because this is crucial for many people. There are so many people who are increasing their inflammation because of this, just because of that. And sooner or later, people will feel like even worse. And just because your help that you're gonna send this to 3 people, 3 friends, you can help that person, okay? So be aware. Second thing that will help reduce the inflammation in your body for you to lose more belly fat. I'm gonna tell you. So now you need to take notes. Let me just open this here. Yes. Oh, check it out. Guys, this is so simple. This could solve your issue. Oh, look, this could solve like more than 30% of your issues. What I'm going to tell you right now, that's why you need to take notes, can solve many of your issues. What is that? What do you mean, Thiago? Check it out. Every single time nowadays, we tend to eat too fast, right? Everybody knows that you need to eat slower. Everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows. But you don't know what's happening inside your body every single time. Imagine for how many times that you ate fast, that you didn't chew, that you didn't break the food down properly, and you started the inflammation in your body. Thiago, are you telling me that if I eat fast, if I don't chew the food enough, that's the step number 1 for me to increase inflammation in my body? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Guys, because of this, you can create food allergies. Any food allergy that you can create, step number 1, can be because of that. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. Let's say you are busy, too busy today, and then you go to your laptop. You are working, and then you go to your husband and say, John, come here. I need something to eat because I'm too busy, so I just have like 5 minutes to eat. So, and then your husband come to you, bring that to you, or your friend, and then you are working, and check it out what's happening inside your body. There is no one bad thing that's happening. There are many things that are bad that's happening at that moment when you are doing this. Check it out what's happening. You are eating, you are working on your laptop, and then the food is here. And then you are eating too fast, and working, and to working. Step number 1 that's happening in your body. Remember, you are not paying attention to the food. That's step number 1. The first mistake, you are not paying attention to the food. You are paying attention to your work. What's happening? You tend to produce less stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, just because you're not paying attention. You're not smelling the aroma. The food is delicious. Wow, that's amazing. And then you look at the colors of the food, and then you're appreciating the food, and then you're 100% focused on the food. You're not doing this. You are busy. You are working like crazy. And boom, not chewing the food. Step number 1, you are not producing enough stomach acid. What's going to happen? Your stomach will tell you, hey, Mary, I'm going to just give an example. Mary, I will not do the job of your teeth to break that food properly. So I'm going to struggle much more to digest that food. This is the command that you're giving to your body. And then the food, you're eating like crazy because you're not, and then you're not producing enough stomach acid. Step number 1 to create more inflammation, right? Why and how? I'm going to tell you, but let me tell you another thing that's going to happen. And let's say you're eating too fast. Guys, remember one thing, your brain is directly connected to your gut, to your digestive system, right? And where the focus goes, if your focus is 100% on your work while eating, your brain is not paying attention to the digestion. What's happening? You will never digest that food and absorb the nutrients properly. And imagine that you are doing this for years, not for some days. If you do this like one day, nothing will happen. That's totally fine. I'm talking about those of you who are doing that a lot, like months and then years, right? And then you are doing this. What's going to happen? Your gut will say to you, hey, I will not do the work of your teeth as well. I'm struggling here to digest that food. And then you are not listening to your body. You're just working like crazy. What's happening? If one particle, I say this to my clients every single time, because this is not a little bit important. This is crucial to reduce the inflammation in your body and you reduce the belly fat. You put the food in your mouth, you're not paying attention to the food. First mistake, you're not producing enough stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, right? It means that your body will not digest the food. Second situation, second problem. Because you're eating too fast, the saliva, your saliva is crucial because you have enzymes in your saliva to break the food properly, to break that food properly, right? And then every time you are chewing, so the more you chew, the more you are dividing the particles of your food in your mouth, and the more saliva will touch the whole angle of the particle of the food. What does it mean? It means that the enzymes will have more capacity to digest that food. And then that's going to be the step number one for you to start reducing the inflammation in your body. That's going to be step number one. Okay? And then that's what's going to happen. If one particle of the food goes to your stomach and then it will not digest properly, and then it goes to your gut, your small intestine, what's going to happen? Let's say you do this for the last 10 years. What's going to happen? 10 years doing this, the same thing, and you're not chewing break the food down properly. Sooner or later, you can create the leaky gut. Is when the lining of your gut is created. I'm going to talk about that in details soon, but it's when the lining of your gut becomes weaker and it's creating like holes for you for those molecules of the food that you ate that you forgot to eat can pass through the lining of your gut, and then the problem becomes 10 times more higher. You're increasing the inflammation much more if that happens. But I'm going to tell you about that, so you need to take notes. Yeah, okay, tell me the solution. I need to know the solution. Guys, solution number one. If you are 35 years old, 35, 40 years old, or even more, you need to remember that your body is not having the capacity to digest and absorb the food compared to 20 years ago. You need to know that. Okay, Thiago, I'm 40 years old. Are you telling me that the way that my body is digesting and absorbing the food is different compared to 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so what's the solution? I need to make sure that I want to digest my food properly for me to reduce my inflammation and lose belly fat. Guys, solution number one, you need to stimulate your body to produce more hydrochloric acid to digest that food. For example, you can take digestive enzymes with betaine. Okay, so because many of you guys are not producing enough digestive enzymes anymore, right? Because your body is so inflamed and now you are over 35, 40 years old. So that those enzymes that will break the food down properly, you don't have it anymore. You don't have enough. That's why you need to spend for 1 month to 3 months, take digestive enzymes with betaine. The betaine will help you to produce, will tell to your stomach, hey stomach, time to produce more hydrochloric acid. It will stimulate the production of more hydrochloric acid, more stomach acid for you to what? For you to digest the food and absorb the food, because that's crucial. That's step number one. Thiago, but is there any other strategy instead of taking this? Because, for example, I'm not finding this. Let's suppose you didn't find. Solution. You can put like lemon combined with apple cider vinegar every time before you eat. Remember that I told you about the apple cider vinegar can flatten the curve of your glucose and your insulin. Another thing that's amazing that apple cider vinegar does as well is increasing the digestion. So lemon increases digestion and apple cider vinegar increases digestion as well. So one of the solutions, if you cannot buy digestive enzymes with betaine, plan B is taking lemon and apple cider vinegar, like 1 or half lemon, apple cider vinegar, or like 1 tablespoon, you put some water, and then every time that you have like a big meal, 15 minutes before you take that. Because you are helping your body to digest and absorb the food properly, and then telling your body, I'm helping you here for you to reduce the inflammation in my body. That's step number one. If you focus only on calories, like I told you, you're just solving one part of the problem, right? You need to focus on everything. Your body's holistic. You need to think about all the dots. You need to connect the dots, right? And that's step number one for you to reduce that inflammation that you're having in your body, that headache that you have, that bloating that you have, that edema that you have. I'm going to talk about that, like when you're not detoxifying your body properly, when you wake up, you have like edema, fluid retention, that below your eyes is big, or at the end of the day you have bigger legs because your body is struggling to dilute the toxins. Another problem is because your body is not functioning properly because you have high levels of inflammation. And it means that you're going to struggle 10 times more to lose your belly fat and to keep your weight off. You're not going to struggle much more. Only those people who will stay with me will learn that. That's why Check it out, guys. Guys, more people. You need to help your friends. You need to help your friends. So make sure that you go to this little icon here, share to more friends because they need that, okay? If I see 100 people, I'm gonna give you some extra tips. If I see 100 people here, I'm gonna give you an extra tip that's gonna be crucial for you, but only if I see 100 people because I want to take a print screen. But check it out. When you are trying to increase that digestion and absorption of the food, this is step number 1, right? Breaking the food down properly. Stimulate your body to produce more stomach acid. But guys, okay, this is step number 1 for you to reduce the inflammation. Second step, something so simple, but you have no idea how many people make this mistake, and that's why they are destroying the results because they are increasing the inflammation in their bodies. What is that? I'm gonna tell you. Let's say you are here with me every single day, you are eating the same food. Because you love eggs and you love this and you love that, every single day you eat the same food, the same food, the same food. Every single time that you eat the same food, you have groups of bacteria in your gut. Every time that you eat the same food, one group of bacteria is increasing because you are feeding only those group of bacteria is increasing. But because you're not eating like a rainbow, you're not keeping the variety of food and changing the food every time, all the groups of bacteria are reducing. One group is growing, another group is not growing. And then you're creating an imbalance inside your gut just because you are eating the same food. What's going to happen? Because of that imbalance, sooner or later, guys, like that, boom. Sooner or later, you are creating because of that dysbiosis that we call. Tiago, what do you mean? So are you telling me that if I keep eating the same food, even eating healthy, Tiago, but I eat the same food, but that's healthy, but it's healthy. It doesn't matter. You are just feeding one group of bacteria. You need to keep that variety. Even eating healthy, but eating the same food, you are creating dysbiosis, that imbalance. What's going to happen? Sooner or later, you are creating leaky gut. What do you mean, Tiago? What is leaky gut? Guys, is when the lining of your gut, remember that I told you? The lining of your gut is really tight and it's protecting your body, right? It's like a super strong lining, protecting. But because of that imbalance of bacteria, because you are eating the same food, if we isolate only this problem, you can create dysbiosis just because of this. Can you believe that? Science is showing already that just because of this, eating the same food, you can create that leaky gut because you are doing this for like years. And then, let's say you are doing this every single day. The tight junctions that we call, in the line of the gut, the tight junctions, you start creating like holes. And it's becoming like that. Opening. What's happening? Something that you don't want to happen. Maybe most of you guys have that already and you didn't notice because nobody told you. The particle of anything, a molecule or a bacteria or any particle of the food, even like because you didn't chew enough as well, can pass through the lining of your gut, go to your bloodstream. Your immune system is the guardian, right? It's like a soldier and have like an arsenal. Your immune system sees something weird in the bloodstream because the molecule passed through the lining of your gut. Your immune system will say, whoa, what's that? Let's attack. Boom. What's happening? When your immune system starts attacking that molecule because it's passing, every time it's passing, the inflammation will start growing again. So the bloating that you have can be because of that. Your brain fog that's happening, your memory is bad, you always feel that your brain is not functioning properly, you're forgetting, you feel that you struggle to learn. That can be the problem, right, of leaky gut because the molecules are going and your immune system is boom, attacking. So everything that's happening in your bloodstream, your immune system is activated because of that, and then you're having many problems. More stress. Guys, there are many people who feel, I feel so stressed out. How can I? You do meditation, you do many things, you try so many things, but your high levels of stress is still high. Many of the reasons is because you're having that leaky gut. And then every time you're having that reaction of creating more stress. Why? Because of the brain-gut axis that we call, the connection between your brain and your gut. All the information that's going from your gut to your brain and from your brain to your gut, all that information is affecting the way that you feel. Everything. If you have that leaky gut just because you're eating the same food over and over again, you're not keeping the variety, You are creating that connection with your brain. Your brain is not functioning properly. You are having so many things and affecting what? Your metabolism, increasing the inflammation in your body, and is struggling 1,000 times more to what? To lose that belly fat, right? To lose that visceral fat. Because the visceral fat nowadays, we know, they are active. They are, that you call, because you have what you call those cytokines, those pro-inflammatory molecules, and the hormones. You have hormones in your visceral fat as well. So they're important if you have a small amount. But if you have like crazy, they are super active. They are controlling many things of what's happening in your body. So that fat that you have, they are alive. Literally, they are alive, right? And then remember, that's the reason why you need to focus on variety of food. Variety of food, because for you to lose the belly fat, you need to have that balance of bacteria in your gut. Tiago, but I'm taking probiotics because I heard someone say that if I take probiotics, I'm gonna strengthen my gut. Big mistake, big mistake. There is the right order for you to consume your probiotics. You need to first reduce the inflammation in your body, right? Avoid food allergies, for example, anything that's creating more allergies, more inflammation. Stage number 2, you increase probiotics, but you need to increase prebiotics as well. That part that I'm gonna tell you is something that you never think about it, and it's gonna be super important to take notes because you never think. You're always doing that thing every single day, and that's affecting your inflammation, increasing the inflammation, and that's affecting your belly fat. Okay? So ready to take notes? Ready? Are you ready? Because I'm gonna tell you something. So check it out. One thing, because I always put here, guys, there is one thing, another thing as well. Remember what I told you already, the gut, right? That you're eating, you need to keep the variety. That's one thing. Let me tell you another thing. You need to think about it. This thing here that I'm going to tell you now is affecting the inflammation, is increasing the inflammation in your body. Not once a year, or not once a month. It's affecting and increasing the inflammation in your body every single day. Tiago, tell me, what is that? It's always related to the biggest organ of your body. What's the biggest and largest organ of your body? Can you guess? Can you guess? Let's see. Guys, it's your skin. Everything around you is affecting your skin. Even like skincare, I'm gonna talk about that. For you guys, for those women who put a lot of creams in their skin, many things. Let's talk about this. So that's why I'm gonna blow your mind. Share this to your friends because there are many women who make this mistake. Guys, check this out. Nowadays we know that this is one thing that's increasing the inflammation in your body, okay? And that connection between your skin, that we call skin-gut axis. Everything that's happening in your skin, all the toxins that's touching your skin and that your skin is struggling to avoid, but is absorbing, it's affecting your gut microbiome as well. And your gut microbiome, if your gut microbiome is having that imbalance, if you're having inflammation in your gut, that's directly affecting your skin. So that's why when you have your gut is weak and you have high levels of inflammation in your gut and this is affecting your skin, what does it mean? It means that you're more likely to absorb toxins without detoxify properly from your skin as well. Your skin, guys, your skin is crazy. This is the largest organ in your body that absorbs many things, even from the air. For example, the toxins that we call, for example, xenobiotics. So you can write down. Xenobiotics are like toxins, for example, heavy metals. You have aluminum in the air. Just by this, when you are having that contact with aluminum, in any place, you are in your city, you go and work, you have aluminum in the air, you have a lot of pollution. Those toxins that we call xenobiotics, they go to your skin and your body absorbs that. Tiago, are you telling me that everything around me is increasing the toxins? I'm accumulating, absorbing all the toxins in my body because everything that's happening around me? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Tiago, so what's the solution for that? Because I need to live. So what do I need to do? Because I don't want to keep accumulating toxins, because I don't want to increase my inflammation in my body, and I don't want to struggle to lose belly fat because of this. Check it out. Take notes. That's why you need to create a great environment inside your body for you to have the capacity, your body has the capacity to detoxify all the toxins that you accumulate, that you are getting. Why? Because let's say you are working. Let me give you the example of working. You are working, like crazy. And then you charge your phone next to you. The phone, you put in the plug, boom, charger. And that radiation, because you're charging your phone next to you, that radiation, and you spend the whole day with radiation around you, you're accumulating more toxins. You're accumulating. If your body doesn't have the capacity to detoxify that toxins, you're in trouble, because it means that you're accumulating more inflammation in your body. And this will create more fat. You're going to tend to accumulate more fat. Why? Because this affects your metabolism. The more inflammation, the more your metabolism will struggle to function properly as well. Okay? So another thing, check it out. Let's suppose you say, I'm going to put cream, like I want to become younger, right? And then you start putting like some creams because you want to have a better skin. What's the problem? You are not paying attention to the ingredients that you see in those products. Because if you're not paying attention, every time that you're putting, check it out. Every time that you're putting cream or putting anything in your skin, and one of the ingredients are toxic, not for the skin, but for your gut, and then your skin, like for example, let's say you buy a poor quality or anything like that, your skin will absorb that. This will create, because remember, the connection of your skin and your gut, the skin-gut axis. So you are increasing the inflammation inside your gut because of the one simple product that you are using, that you are utilizing, and you don't know, you didn't pay attention of all the ingredients that you are putting in your skin, and because of that, you are increasing the inflammation in your entire body. Because when you have inflammation in your gut, that's why that's the first thing that you need to focus on, your gut. Because if your gut is inflamed, all your body will be inflamed, right? You can affect your thyroid. Those people, for example, who have autoimmune disease, right? It's just everything will be affected by your gut microbiome, what's happening in your gut. And one of the things that can affect that inflammation, and by consequence is affecting the way that you are losing weight, that your body is having the capacity to burn fat and keep your weight off, and affect your metabolism, is what? The toxins that you're accumulating from the environment. And step number one is from the skin, everything that's happening, what you're smelling, everything, all the toxins around you, the radiation is affecting that inflammation. Okay, that's why you need to strengthen your gut as much as you can, as much as possible, for you to have the capacity, for your body to have the capacity to detoxify. Strengthen your liver, strengthen your kidneys, strengthen your gut for you to detoxify those toxins properly. Thiago, how can I know? One of the ways that I can know if I'm accumulating toxins and my body's inflamed. One of the things, guys, there are literally more than 100 symptoms. More than 100 symptoms. One of them, when you notice that you're accumulating toxins and your body's not detoxifying that, and then you're accumulating inflammation, is when you wake up. Many people, when you wake up, you have edema, you have fluid retention here. But like below your eyes is really big, and then you spend some time for this to happen. People who have bloating, they always feel that their belly is big all the time. People who have that edema, that fluid retention in their legs by the end of the day, it means that you are struggling to detoxify, right? Detox is not diluting. They are not diluting. What does it mean? That struggle, it means that your body has higher levels of inflammation. That's why you need to focus on. Do you understand? Guys, do you understand that when you talk about weight loss, belly fat, when you talk about this, we need to talk about inflammation, right? Can you understand that? Because that's the point. Imagine that I always say, use this example. Imagine that your body is like a beautiful cake, and you are trying to make that beautiful cake, and your cake is like your body. And then you are trying to make this beautiful cake, and then you're putting the ingredients. Okay, ingredient 1 and then ingredient 2. For you to lose weight, you always have to have this ingredient, and this ingredient is what? Caloric deficit. You know that, I know that. So this ingredient It's crucial for any weight loss. Everybody knows that. So this ingredient you always need to put in the recipe. But if you just put one ingredient, if you just put this, do you think that the cake will be beautiful or not? Of course not. You will always miss something. That's why when we talk about weight loss, we need to focus on have that holistic approach, including the toxins that you're accumulating, the skin that you're absorbing. Your body's not diluting the toxins properly. Your gut, you have that imbalance of bacteria, and then your gut microbiome is not functioning properly to reduce that inflammation. This is affecting your insulin hormone, your glucose, your cortisol will spike much more. You will tend to feel much more stressed out because of that. And if you're not focusing on that, you're gonna have troubles because you're not focusing on the whole. You're not connecting all the dots, right? And you're always missing some ingredients for you to make a beautiful cake. That's why you are still frustrated with your body, right? So that's why, remember, be careful with everything that you put in your skin because your body will absorb that from your skin, and that connection between your skin and your gut microbiome is huge, right? It's huge. So you need to be aware of everything. For example, another thing that you need to be careful and reduce, if you can, to reduce that inflammation in your body is what? Deodorant that you have that is high in aluminum. Your pan. When you're cooking your food, last 10 years, you spent 10 years cooking your food with a pan aluminum. Guys, you're accumulating aluminum a lot, right? Some foods that have always some amounts of mercury, always heavy metals. If you don't have a great mechanism of detoxifying those toxins, because we all absorb that toxins. Because we live in this world, right? It's impossible for you. You will not live in isolated in one single place. We are always getting that inflammation naturally. But it's not about getting the inflammation. It's all about how you can reduce that inflammation. How you are teaching your body, you are giving the right command for your body to have the capacity, the right environment, the right ecosystem inside your gut, for you to detoxify that, for you to reduce that inflammation, for your metabolism to keep growing up anyway, keep growing, and you have a great functioning, your metabolism is functioning properly, and even if you are young, aging, you are still feeling younger, you still have a lot of energy, you still have a lot of mitochondria. Because nowadays we know another thing that can increase the inflammation in your body is when you are not having enough mitochondria. When your mitochondria is lower, because now you are aging, you spend 10 years inflaming your body, and then remember, when you don't have enough mitochondria and your mitochondria are not functioning properly anymore, you will never have enough energy. And nowadays we know for you to break the fat cells, for you to keep getting results, to lose the belly fat, and to keep your weight off, you need energy. Right? Why? Why, Thiago? Why do I need energy for me to lose belly fat and keep my weight off? Why, guys? Because we are energy. We are literally energy. We have a lot of energy inside each cell of our bodies, right? We have 0.04 volts in each cell, inside each cell. Can you believe that? So we are pure energy. Why do you think, for example, when you have a meeting and you're super nervous and then your heart rate, boom, 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 start beating faster. For one example, right? That connection, your brain sends signals to your heart sends signals to your brain sends signals to your heart. Your brain sends signals to your gut sends signals to your brain. How do you think that this communication works? How do you think that communication works? Guys, frequency, vibration, energy, like the vagus nerve, the nervous system, right? So the main one, the vagus nerve that connect our gut and our brain, pure frequency, energy. When you talk about these electromagnetic waves, boom, 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 and those electromagnetic waves, there is information inside them. That's why how they connect, how they communicate with each other. It's pure energy. That's why for you to lose the belly fat, reduce the inflammation in your body, you need to create more mitochondria, healthy mitochondria, to have more energy, and then you're going to create the environment for you to have a sustainable result. I'm talking about sustainable results, right? Because I'm not talking about losing weight and then after 2 months you boom, gain everything back again and then boom, the belly is big again. I'm not talking about that. It's all about you learn how to connect the dots, right? So remember that the toxins will be crucial for you to reduce and because this will affect your results as well. Another thing as well, guys, even something simple, the oxygen. We need oxygen. Do you know that when your body is burning fat, the way that your body utilizes fat, the most part, more than 70%, is from carbon dioxide. So your oxygen, that the way that you're breathing, your VO2 max, the capacity of absorbing oxygen, is super important for you to lose weight and sustain your results, right? And another thing, nowadays we know, for example, let's say you spent 20 years without improving your capacity of breathing, of absorbing oxygen. Now you're getting older. Now it's becoming harder. Your body is struggling more to get more oxygen, right? The capacity of absorbing, getting more oxygen is reducing because now you are older and you never cared about that. What's going to happen? Just because of that, you're not having enough oxygen. This can increase inflammation in your body as well. That's why when you think about the extreme situation, for example, that you have like hypoxia, when you go to high altitude and you have that difficulties of oxygen, we know nowadays that when the person has a hypoxia, they start increasing the inflammation in their bodies. Those molecules that are pro-inflammatory, the cytokines, start increasing just because of that, right? And what's the nutrient that's crucial for you to have more energy as well? What's the nutrient that's super important for your energy? Is what? Oxygen, guys. You need oxygen as well, right? So when you do a workout that you're focused on increasing that capacity of your function, your lungs function properly and better, and your heart function properly and better, all the system of getting the nutrients from your blood because your heart is pumping really well. The muscle of your heart is super strong and the volume is higher. Your heart is much stronger and your lungs are much stronger. When you get sick, it's gonna be like much easier you recover. Why? Because all that system is functioning properly. Why? Because in the last years you cared about how is the capacity of you getting more oxygen in your body, right? That's why, for example, when you do like a HIIT workout, when you do a workout that's increasing your cardiorespiratory capacity, it's super important to keep your weight off, right? Because it's super important. When you talk about weight loss, we talk about oxygen as well. You need that because of the carbon dioxide, right? So this is super important. Many people don't know that. People think that, I burn fat. How can I burn fat? How my body utilizes fat? Guys, it's oxygen and then carbon dioxide. That's how you lose the fat. You lose the fat by from the carbon dioxide. Interesting, right? And that's it. So, guys, another thing, check it out. I'm gonna tell you one thing that now is for you to think about, okay? Because one thing that you don't realize that's increasing the inflammation in your body, and that's affecting your gut microbiome, and that's affecting your weight loss for you to accumulate more belly fat here, is because the way that you are thinking, the thoughts that you are having here, every time that you're overthinking, every time that you are having an argument, every time that you have a thought that you feel super like sad, you don't feel great, even the way that you look at yourself in the mirror, when you judge yourself, that's step number one, that sooner or later is going to be super hard to sustain your results. Those people who encourage themselves and without judging themselves, those people are 1,000 times more likely to succeed and to have a great shape and lose their belly fat. Why? Because what's happening here in your mind, in your brain, all your thoughts, each cell of your body is like listening to it. Your gut microbiome is listening to it. So she doesn't like her body. She hates her body. Okay, so let's just, boom, increase the inflammation. You remember what I said to you at the beginning of the live. Everything that's happening in your mind, you are the boss. You are giving the command to your body to do the right thing or the bad or the wrong thing. If you hate your body, if you don't like yourself, if you never encourage yourself, if every time when you look in front of the mirror, boom, instead of saying, I'm gonna achieve that, I can do this. Of course I can do this. Oh, of course, I have the capacity to do that. When you don't have that mindset, what's gonna happen? Each cell of your body, all your system, your entire system is listening to it, right? all your nervous system, because your nervous system is connected like from your head to your foot. So all that information that's going through your nervous system, all that information that's happening here, that negativity, that you're judging yourself, that you're hating your body, and that you don't like yourself, and who cares? That kind of thought, all the nervous system, all that information, that electromagnetic waves will be sent to all your entire system, your entire body. That's why those people who are really bad, they start feeling worse. Those people who start feeling better and better and better, and then they keep their routine, they start feeling even better. They are aging, but they start feeling even better. Why? Because it's all about how you are feeding your mind, how you are feeding your body, right? And how you are feeding your brain as well. Got it? Because it's not about what's happening outside you. It's all about what's happening inside you. Because you have toxins around you, you have inflammation around you. Even like a radiation from your phone is inflaming your body. But it's all about how's the capacity that you are having to detoxify those toxins, to reduce that inflammation. How strong is your gut microbiome to, for example, when you have like a disease or when you are sick, for example, when you have that virus, I cannot say the name because otherwise Instagram can shut down. So that virus, starting with C, if you have that, what's your capacity for your body to recover, or your immune system to boom attack the virus properly? If you're not having that perspective of life, you're gonna keep feeling sad and frustrated and always judging yourself like crazy all the time for years and years and years. Step number one, I'm gonna tell you, step number one for you to reduce the inflammation in your body, for you to start the process of losing weight properly, step number one is here, the way that you are thinking about yourself, right? The way that you are encouraging yourself instead of judging yourself. Because weight loss happens here, it starts here. Weight loss starts here. Why, Tiago, it starts here? Because everything that's affecting, for example, let's say you start judging yourself and stressed out, your cortisol will spike. Your cortisol, remember what I told you? Higher cortisol levels, you are just giving the command for your body to accumulate fat in your visceral fat. Because you have those receptors that are sensitive, right, of cortisol. When cortisol is higher and then you are stressed out, you are just giving the command for you to accumulate fat in your belly. So that's why weight loss starts here, right? Your metabolism is affected by that as well. So guys, everything. Be aware of what your people that you are looking at. Because why? Because like, remember what I told you at the beginning? Even where you are looking at is affecting even your digestion. If you are not looking at the food, because the retina is the part directly connected to your brain, if you're not checking the food, this is going to be the first step for you to decrease that digestion and absorption and start the inflammation again. And then by consequence, you start struggling to lose weight. Can you understand that? Guys, it's much deeper. The problem is much deeper. And that's why you are now 40 years old, time is flying, you are trying to lose weight and keep your weight off and feel great and feel healthy in the last 10 years and you are still here struggling, right? But why? Because of here, because you need to focus on your mind, the way that you're thinking about yourself. Never, never, ever judge yourself like crazy. You are terrible, you are bad, you're like, wow, you are ugly, you're destroyed. That mentality will just destroy you much more. And you don't deserve that. Why? Because imagine, I'm going to give you this is super important. Imagine that you received a Ferrari. You have your body is like a Ferrari. Imagine that you have a Ferrari for you. That car, that Ferrari is unique. Nobody has that Ferrari that you have. And it's yours. And you have the command of that Ferrari. So that Ferrari is amazing, is unique. All the equipments, all the parts of the Ferrari, it's incredible. Nobody saw that because it's unique. And has a huge potential. Huge potential. And then you go to your Ferrari, you get in your Ferrari, you turn on the Ferrari, but you didn't receive the manual for you to use that Ferrari, right? You didn't receive, when you were born, you didn't receive the manual for you to utilize your body and achieve your best version. Same thing when you go to that Ferrari. That's why you need to be aware of learning about your body, learn about your own body, understand, okay, why am I feeling that way? Okay, if I'm feeling that way, how can I change that? Straight away, you don't give space for you to increase the inflammation in your body. Don't give that space. And it's like you are having that Ferrari, and then many people make this mistake. Many women make this mistake. Check it out. You turn on the Ferrari. That's your body. Amazing, unique, incredible. It's a gift. And then start driving. Instead of you just look forward, okay, I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna get this road, and I'm gonna and I'm gonna achieve my route, my place, the location that I want to achieve. I'm gonna achieve my goals. And then you start accelerating, right? You speed up. You start increasing the speed. What's the problem of most of you guys do? Instead of looking forward, because you have an amazing Ferrari, amazing machine, instead of looking forward, you are always looking at the rear view mirror. You are looking back, guys. You are looking of like the way that you used to be, the bad stuff that happened with you. You had a problem in your past, and then you are still thinking about that problem. So if you're not looking forward for you to keep achieving your goals, keep crushing it and achieve your goals, it doesn't make sense to have that Ferrari, because you're not using that Ferrari for the fullest. You're not using that 100%. You are always missing. You're never putting the right speed. You're never going to the right road. Why? Because instead of looking forward for your goals, achievements, ambitions, you're always looking back. You're always looking to the rear view mirror. That's the problem. Most of you guys have this issue, right? So forget the past, because the past already happened. What you have is right here, right now. So take action now, because you deserve to. Because one day, the day that you notice that you are a miracle, that you have an amazing body, that you have like an ecosystem of trillions of bacteria inside your gut. You have even 10 times more viruses inside your gut. You have cells that they work like amazing, like perfect. They're amazing. You have an incredible brain. That's a machine that nobody so far could build that machine. And you are unique. And if you study about that, you're going to start loving yourself just by the way that you are. But this is step number 1. Step number 2, you're going to start to take care of yourself much more, because you are loving yourself so much that you want to improve more. I have more capacity. I can do more than that. I deserve more. I can lose more weight. I deserve to have a better body. I deserve to feel better about myself. When you understand about your body, you have much more of that desire. Why I'm saying that? Tiago, why are you saying that? Because it happens with me every single day. I love myself 1,000 times more compared to 20 years ago. Why? Because in the last 20 years, I'm studying about myself like crazy. I understand my body, right? So the more I understand my body, I know what's happening. I know, okay, I'm sad now. What happens because I'm feeling sad now? Okay, I'm gonna now do this for me to feel better. When you're understanding your body, by consequence, you're creating the right environment inside your gut, inside your brain, all your nervous system, right? All that information, that electromagnetic waves are functioning properly. That environment, by consequence, like it's just a consequence, you start losing weight properly, right? Because now you are in a caloric deficit, you are doing all the other things that you should do as well. Now your body is prepared for you to keep losing weight, right? So do you guys understand that? It's never about only one thing. It's all about your body is super complex. It's an amazing machine that's super complex. So that's why you guys should be aware of what you are looking at, because that's affecting your results, increase the inflammation. Your environment that can increase the inflammation in your body. People that you are talking to, the news that you are checking, pay attention to that, because this is affecting your inflammation in your body, and by consequence, accumulating fat. Why? In your belly. Why? Because it's visceral fat. And they are metabolic active, that we call. They are metabolic active. So they are literally like alive, for you to understand. Okay? Those, they have hormones. You have hormones in your visceral fat. They are always checking what's going on, what's happening. Some receptors always check, oh, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Ah, she's stressed out? Okay, come here, fat. Let's accumulate fat here. Boom. And then the belly is bigger. So guys, I want you guys to understand how beautiful is your body. How amazing, incredible, and complex is your body. This is so important. Okay, now let me see who is here, because God is great. Yeah, God is great. Yeah, another thing. So you need to focus on 4 areas of your life, because otherwise you will always feel that you are missing something, And that's the step number 1 for you to increase the inflammation in your body. Your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. Everything will be crucial for you. If you have one area that's amazing, but you're missing the other areas, you will always feel that something is empty, right? That's why you need to be aware. For example, in my case, I always make sure how are each area, how's those areas in my life. My spiritual life, I always talk to God in the morning. First thing in the morning, I never check my phone, because otherwise I'm going to create that impact and increase cortisol and increase that anxiety. And I know that this will increase my inflammation in my body. First thing in the morning, I go get the sunlight. First thing in the morning, I start thanking God. Guys, this is a powerful. Step number 1 as well to reduce inflammation in your body is having that gratitude thought. You just had the capacity to wake up. Why are you complaining? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. When you don't check your phone, when you don't have 1,000 thoughts, when you wake up, when you go to the park, or when you just stay in the sit on the sofa and then you start thinking about everything that you have, you start noticing that you are literally a miracle. You have the capacity to wake up, and then you need to thank God because of that, just because of that. Why feeling sad all the time? Why feeling like super bad or depressed all the time? Because you are a miracle, right? And that's step number 1 for you to improve here, and then improve your body, and then reduce the inflammation, and then lose your weight, keep that belly lower, because that is pure inflammation, and then you feel happy about yourself. But remember, you feel happy about yourself since day 1, because now you are thinking properly. Now you are thinking God, you are being grateful. You are thinking, okay, oh my God, that's so many people sick, so many people that just focus on money, earn a lot of money in the last 10 years, and then now they have so much money, but they are feeling terrible, they are sick, they are in hospital, and I'm here. I got sick, but now I'm recovered. Wow, that's amazing. And then you are grateful because of that. And the way that you are thinking, remember, each part of your body is listening to what's happening here. The way that you are thinking will dictate, the way that you think is like that. The way that you think will just give the direction for you to go to the right road, for you to lose weight, for you to feel that you are better, you are getting shape, you're feeling stronger, you're feeling much better about yourself, your health is going up. Or, depending on what's happening here, you are just deciding to go to the wrong road. If you go to the wrong road, it's just gonna be like a vicious circle. Boom, 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 just vicious circle, right? And that's why you guys should be aware of what's happening here. When you talk about weight loss, belly fat, and the most important, sustain that, you feel healthy, because it doesn't matter, just lose belly fat. Why do you want to lose belly fat if you're still unhappy? Why do you want to lose your belly fat if you are still feeling like have lack of energy? Why do you want to lose belly fat if you are still sad, if you still have that depression? Do you really think that losing the belly fat will solve all the issues? It's a big illusion, guys. You need to first focus on here. The belly fat is going to be a consequence, because each cell of your body is listening to what's happening in your body, in your mind. Got it? Can you believe it? For example, you have 40,000 neurons in your heart, here, in your heart. Neurons, literally. So you have 40,000 neurons. Science had found that. And you have about 500 million neurons in your gut. So you don't have only neurons here in your brain. You have in your heart and in your gut as well. What does it mean, Thiago? What do you mean by that? It means that your heart is always sending information to your brain, right? Did you know that your heart sends more information to your brain than your brain to your heart, and your gut sends more information to your brain than your brain to your heart or to your gut? Much more. Your brain is always, hey, what's happening here? What's happening there? And then your heart will say, hey, she's running, so I need to put more oxygen, more blood to the whole body. So I'm gonna start speeding up here. And then the brain, okay, all right. And then your heart starts beating faster, because now you are running, for example, right? The gut, your brain will ask, hey, gut, what's happening over there? She's not eating properly. She's eating the same food every day. I have more bacteria of one group of bacteria than other group of bacteria. I'm not good. And then what's going to happen? The brain, okay, she's doing that wrong. Okay, so I'm creating here more stress. cortisol is increasing, more cortisol, more stress. Insulin is completely deregulated. You're not spiking your glucose and your insulin properly. And then you start creating that bad environment, right? So that's why you need to be aware that your heart has neurons, your gut has neurons, so that connection is information everywhere, and that's pure energy, okay? I talk to so many women every day. I'm seeing people in Canada, people in Australia, everywhere. People are struggling a lot. It's not struggling physically only, it's struggling mentally as well. And because I know that mentally is affecting your physical health, I know that you need, I want to do this, to give you that information because I know that's important. Cool?